Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar hosts, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you go to the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, download the app. You will not regret it. All of the great stuff, even when you can't hear our lovely voices or see our beautiful faces, the app works on the weekend. So it's pretty cool stuff. I'd recommend checking it out. You can find them on Twitter at LineStar MLB and LineStar DFS. I'm on Twitter at BDintric, and my co-host is always on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how we doing?
I'm good. Thank you for all the Mother's Day gifts, everyone that sent me one. So I appreciate that. You know, anyone that's called me, anything that starts with mother before, and you owe me a gift is how I get it. So
mine's in the mail then.
Yeah, well, I took mom out for dinner on Saturday. She doesn't like going on Sunday because of it's too crowded, she said. So like it's less crowded on Saturday, but whatever. So we went out, had a good meal and enjoyed the day. What did you do for Mother's Day, Bob?
I took mom and my wife, new mom, to brunch, and it was a beautiful day, and food was good. The weather was good. We walked around for a bit with the little one. Pretty fun, simple day, but it was good. It's nice to start getting back to reality. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Saw plenty of people out at the restaurant, and there were lines and crowds and stuff. So that was pretty interesting. And there's a couple stadiums that are opening up to full capacity now. So we are getting a little more normal every single day.
I know this is a baseball podcast, and we'll go back to baseball in a second. We only have 6 games here, people. So you're going to get a little behind the scenes of Bogman and Bubba here. I tripped out, Bogman, because I saw the announcement like Friday or so. Then I saw pictures of Saturday night in Jerry World. They had 70,000 people in there to watch a boxing fight.
Yeah,
I have not seen that in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. So yeah, that was it was interesting to see, and I was glad to see it too. You know, it's obviously not perfect or anything, but we're getting closer to normal. And you know, normal is going to be different moving forward too. Yeah. So but just happy that we're getting back to our normal sports crowds, because I want to hear, it's just too weird watching baseball games in a half-empty stadium. And I mean, I'm used to that as a Diamondbacks fan, but not for opening day, right? But watching football games in half-empty stadiums, Oof, that is brutal.
Yeah, baseball, it still sounds like it's kind of doable. Football, we're gonna have full stadiums for football, so that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to full stadiums for college football, because
that's where the real noise is.
Gonna get popping. So
and the fans will be back and everything. I mean, don't forget about that. There was no pageantry this year. It was just let's get these games in, and that's it. So no bands coming with us or anything. So you know, that's college football definitely has the pageantry. You're 100% correct about that.
Speaking of normal, Boggs, you looked at the weekend's baseball action. Some pitchers let us down again. Hendricks, not as much his fault. I started seeing the replays. A lot of goofy defense in the first, but Nola got beat up. Giolito was okay. Irvin, who we've been loving, got hit around a bit. That was just on Sunday. It was a wild weekend, to say the least.
What is with the horrible umpires this year? I mean, specifically worse Angel Hernandez, but you know, there's been a bunch of bad ones recently. I mean, I saw that the best rivalry isn't the Dodgers versus the Padres; it's the umps versus the strike zone. It's been terrible.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, no, it's been real bad. It's really, really bad. And you could also say Angel Hernandez versus the Sun, because apparently glares prevent him from making calls. So it's always something with those guys.
It was the scoreboard. It was a night game.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, I would like to see Angel Hernandez versus a light bright one time. So probably
give him an edge of sketch. He wouldn't be able to still put a strike zone on there. But yeah, fun stuff. Everybody had a great weekend, great Mother's Day weekend, all that good stuff. But we'll get cracking on this one for you. 6 games, get you in and out. Just a heads up, there's going to be rain in Coors Field. So just brace for impact there. As of recording time, we're looking at 50 to 65% chances of rain pretty much the entire evening.
Hate that.
And
that's the best game on the slate for us. Yep. So I hate it.
Yeah, just be ready for that one, folks. Buckle up is what I'll say. But we'll kick it off for you. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Molly Keller. Molly's 9,400 on DK, 89 on FanDuel. He's 68. Or Keller's 68 on DK, 7,000 on FanDuel. on a slate of this magnitude, when you look at, we don't have all the over-unders. We have Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. It is 8, total of 8. You got to think Molly's kind of in play here, Boggs.
Yeah, there's not a lot of pitching here. So Molly is going to be in play. But he only one start over 5 innings pitched. He gave up 6 in his last start, and the Pirates they're not hitting great, obviously, but they're not striking out. I think they're like the 4th lowest strikeout rate since May 1st, at least through Saturday, because I was looking at Fangraphs today on Sunday. So I don't really like Molly that much. Keller, not the best, but the Reds aren't hitting. 17 earned runs in 24 and a third innings pitched, though. So we know that Keller can get blown up as well. So I guess, Molly might be the 3rd best starter on this slate, and I really don't care for him that much.
Yeah, he's in play if you're making a bunch of lineups on a small slate, sure. You kind of hinted around it. On a small slate, you got to get different. And you got to be willing to take some chances. Unless you're just making like one lineup, a cash lineup, you're like, okay, I just want to scratch the itch. I'll wait for the big slate on Tuesday. But if you're trying to get different and win something, Keller's intriguing. You mentioned Cincinnati's offense slowing down. They're going to be in Pittsburgh. He's only 68 on DK. I'm not going to use him on FanDuel. He's strictly an SP2 situation. But it's got to be in the discussion because you're going to have to find an SP2, and there ain't many good ones. So I could see the argument for Keller. With all that being said, Bogman, over under 8, Pittsburgh. What kind of bats are you looking at here?
Yeah, I mean, there are good bats on this slate, obviously. So, Castellanos has been hitting, and he's 3 for 10 against Keller in his career with a double and a homer. So 2 of those hits have gone for extra bases. And then there's just the hot guys, and most of them are on Cincinnati. Barnhart still hitting well, 35-26. Winker, 46 and 39. Naquin, 39 and 29. Senzel, 31 and 25. And he's been bumped up in the batting order as of recently. Adam Frazier, 38 and 28. And Jacob Stallings, 2,700 across the board. So those are the bats that I would like for this game here.
Yeah, Senzel moving up in the order is very, very nice. I've been looking at him. I actually wrote him up for a waiver wire column this week. So he is definitely on the radar. The other guy I will mention, he's been getting some regular run in the 3-hole lately. It's Kai Tom. He came over. He was a Rule 5 pick. I forget which team he went to, but they didn't keep him, so he came back. I think it was Cleveland.
Oakland,
possibly.
right? Maybe it was Cleveland.
Maybe, I don't know. It was a while ago. But now he's back with the Pirates, and they have to keep him because of the whole Rule 5 deal. And he's actually starting to heat up. So I think he's a very, very intriguing play. Hit safely in 4 or 5. And the best part about him is he's 24 on DK, and he's basically the bare minimum on FanDuel. So I think that's a kind of an angle you can go at. Batting 3rd in this lineup, if you're looking for value, that's what you look for. Lineup is a very, very important tool there. All right, let's go to the next game on the slate. Boston Red Sox, Baltimore Orioles. Total is 9.5. And you want to know why, Bogman? It's Martin Perez versus Jorge Lopez. Martin, 7,300 on DK, 84 on FanDuel. Lopez, 65 on DK, 65 on FanDuel. It is all about the bats, baby.
Yeah, I tell you what, though.
Oh, you're going Perez. You're doing it, aren't you?
I actually kind of like Perez. 5 2/3 for both of his last 2 starts. That's 13-2 strikeout to walk ratio over those starts, too. But Baltimore does have the 3rd lowest K rate since May 1st. So they haven't been striking out at an insane level either. But for this tiny slate, I kind of like him. I mean, Lopez, only 1 start of 5 innings pitched this year. Boston is hitting, so there's no way I'm going to mess with him at all. But like you said, it is mainly bats in this one. A little PVB data here for you. Pat Valaika, 4 for 6 in his career off of Perez. So, with a bomb. So he's at least a decent PVB here. Trey Mancini, 6 for 13 against Perez, but no extra base hits in those 6. They're all singles. And then Verdugo, 3 for 4 against Lopez with a double and a homer. So there is a little PVB data here, but it's the hot Boston bats. Bogarts, hot. Vasquez, JD Martinez, Hunter Renfroe hit a bomb again today. Mullins hit a bomb on Sunday as well, 44 and 33. Austin Hayes, 38 and 31. And then Freddie Galvis, 36 and 27. So those are the bats I like for this game.
The other one I'll mention is Ryan Mountcastle. He's 35 on DK, 26 on FanDuel. He's starting to really get it going. He's got a big loop in that swing, big hole in that swing, but he's starting to hit over the last 4 or 5 games. And then keep an eye on the Red Sox lineup because you want to look for value where you can to get the big boppers that you mentioned. Byron Gonzalez led off over the weekend. He's 2,500 on FanDuel, and on DK, he is a whopping 3,300. So if you want to go for the Uber value as part of your stack to open things up, it'll probably be popular because the Red Sox will be popular, especially if Coors Field is not in play. If that gets taken out, like if Coors is in play, Red Sox are still kind of in the ballpark here. Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to get pretty nasty. All right, next game on the slate. We do not have any totals in this one because it is Angels, Astros, Suarez taking the bump, making the spot start against Luis Garcia. Suarez is 56 on DK, not available on FanDuel. Luis Garcia is 84 on DK, 8,000 on FanDuel. I like Garcia as a pitcher, but the Angels literally, you've mentioned two others, Angels don't strike out, period. Go watch the Garrett Cole start. Like we said it going into it, that's kind of the concern, and he still had trouble striking them out. They do not strike out.
And Garcia is only, only over 5 innings one time this season too. So not a good spot for starters. I mean, for this game, I'm mainly going to be taking Astros bats because, it's going to be we're going to be getting into the bullpen fairly quick on the Angels here anyway, because Suarez will probably go an inning or two. But Bregman at 5,038, Gurriel at 5,134, he's hitting. Altuve at 5,137. Those are the big guys that I want from the Astros lineup. There's a couple of decent hot options that are cheap on the Angel side. Jose Rojas has been getting playing time. He's 2,400 on DK, 2,300 on FanDuel. David Fletcher's at 35.29. Jose Iglesias, if he gets in there, he's a little banged up though, 33 and 23. Martin Maldonado, and I forgot to mention Jordan Alvarez, who went yard twice. Was that Saturday or Sunday?
I believe that was against Cole on Friday.
Oh, on Friday. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
then
right.
I think he went deep either Saturday or Sunday. But he double donged on Friday.
Yeah, exactly. So because I picked Bregman on Friday, so he went yard twice. That makes exact sense. So he's another good Astros bat for you.
Yeah, no, the Astros are just white hot right now. Put up 7 more runs on Sunday, and like you said, it's the usual suspects. But Kyle Tucker had a monster game on Friday, and we've talked about it either on this show or other shows or whatnot that if you're one of those X stats believers, he is due for some nice positive regression. Like it's due. So I'm not saying he's going to go on a tear, but I kind of think he's going to go on a tear. Like he's hitting the ball and it finally started falling. You get those chips to start falling. Like they moved him down in the order to kind of get his mind right and then moved him up a little bit. They've been playing with him, trying to get him comfortable. And I think it's going to be interesting. So he's another guy to think about because he's really, really cheap on both sides as they have not quite adjusted to where they are yet. All right, San Diego at Colorado. It is Dinelson Lamet versus wonderful Antonio Senzatella. And these sides just cannot agree on who's pitching yet. So you got DK has it as, I don't want that. I want that. Has Lamet versus Senzatella. Lamet's 81. Senzatella is 58. But when you go to wonderful FanDuel, you have a different situation. You have no pitchers. So
it was gray earlier before. So let me look at MLB.
Senzatella is coming off the IL. That's what's supposed to be taking place.
Okay, so it is supposed to be Senzatella.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Senzatella. But here's the thing: we're going to cover the game, folks, because it's a short show. Otherwise, I'd say pass this game. 50 to 65% chances of rain throughout the entire evening. So maybe it misses Coors and we get a game in. Awesome. Just beware. So Boggs, I don't want either pitcher here because I don't trust Lamet to go deep at all. He went 32 pitches or something his last start.
Yeah, it's 2 innings pitched both of his starts so far. So you can't mess with him, especially at that price. It's ridiculous.
The guy you want to look at real quick, if keep an ear on the weather, obviously, but also on the news. Weathers has been following Lamet. He went 3 innings or so. You probably get him dirt cheap if you want to get really weird, but I still wouldn't go there.
Yeah, I'm not going to get that weird in this game. This is a bats only game for me, so it's Blackman who's been hitting. Story has been picking it up. Tapia and Garrett Hampson have been picking it up. Alan Trejo has been getting into some lineups, and he's cheap at 2,500 on both sides. Trent Grisham and Jake Cronenworth, Machado, and Myers. I'll stack either side of this game if I'm going to, chance it. But it's probably going to rain, so they're not going to get more than one lineup, as far as I'm concerned. Either the Padres or the Rockies.
Yeah, last week I think it was Monday's game against the Giants. It got rained out, and it had less rain projected than this did. So they're not afraid.
Could be snow in Colorado. Yeah. Who knows?
They're not afraid to have double headers. So just don't worry about that. But if they do play, I love stacking both sides, especially the Padres side. I love taking them in Coors Field because their bats have been so atrocious. Maybe they come in lower owned. I hope the game plays, but we will have to wait and see. All right, we have the Miami Marlins at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Bogman will be on the edge of his seat for this one because you got Luke Weaver on the mound, who I love to fade like crazy. He's 9K on DK. He is 7,500 on FanDuel. And then DK has Ross Detweiler opening up at $6,000. FanDuel does not have him yet. I don't trust Detweiler at all. And I'm intrigued by the Marlins tonight, Bogman.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, Weaver's been bad in 3 of his last 4 starts. He's only gone 4 innings. The other one was 5 innings. So it's not like he's working deep into games, and he's 15 to 10 strikeout to walks over his last 3 starts as well. He started out the year really well, but he's hit a rough patch right now. So you could honestly stack either side because the Diamondbacks have been hitting, and we're going to get into that bullpen fairly quick because how long is Detweiler going to go? So, on the Diamondback side, I like Josh Rojas. He's 44 and 3,000. Pavin Smith, 4,000, 3,200. Stephen Vogt has been hot, 45 and 24. If he's out there, Ascab, 37 and 3,000. And Carson Kelly's been the hottest Diamondbacks hitter, and he's let off a couple times, 51 and 3,700. But, it's mainly going to be Miami bats, like you said. 3 for 5 PVB data for Corey Dickerson against Weaver with a double. 2 for 5 for Brian Anderson. He's 4,000, 2,500 on FanDuel. Real cheap for him. And then Rojas has been hitting. Duvall has been dropping some bombs, and Isan Diaz has actually been hitting as well. So there are some bats to buy in this game.
Yeah, definitely. It could be potentially the sneakier play to go because the Astros will be popular. Red Sox will be popular, especially if there's no Coors. This could be your angle to go get some cheap bats and pay up for 2 pitchers instead of having to go weird on DK or pay up for 1 on FanDuel and go that route. Last game on the 6-game slate, Texas Rangers at the San Francisco Giants. Kyle Gibson, Alex Wood, total of 7 in this game because both pitchers have actually been pretty darn good. Gibson's 86 on DK, 95 on FanDuel. Gibson is the highest priced pitcher on FanDuel. Let that sink in. And then Wood is $9,800, the highest pitcher on DK, and he's 89 on FanDuel. So this just sums up the slate for you in a nutshell. But,
these are the 2 best options here, Bob.
I know, that's what's crazy. So, like in a cash game, I'm good going with both guys on DK. I like Wood if I had to pick one of the 2 for sure, just because the Giants bats are kind of sneaky. I like Texas bats versus lefties. Don't get me wrong, like Garcia and company. I also love what Wood's doing in that ballpark, especially.
Yeah, and for on the Gibson side, they're pitching in San Francisco. He hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs since the opener, and he has 6 innings pitched at least in his last 6 starts. So I kind of like Gibson here. I understand why he's the most, but on the Wood side, he has won 3 out of his last 4 starts. He's 22 to 5 strikeouts to walks on the season, and only 5 earned runs in his last 4 starts. So either way you want to go with on this side, I'm good. And this is like the one game where I'm going to fade bats because the pitching is good. I mean, there's a little nice PVB data here. Evan Longoria is 4 for 14 with a double in his career off of Gibson. Chris Davis is 2 for 5 with a double and a homer off of Wood. David Dahl is 3 for 5 with a double, and Charlie Culberson 3 for 7 with a double as well. And there's some hot bats here too. Garcia's been hot. Gallo, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Nate Lowe, Willie Calhoun, the usual Ranger suspects have been nice. And like you said, it's sneaky on your Giants side. Crawford, Belt, Posey, Slater, and Steven Dugar specifically. And the nice cheap option at 2,600 on both sides, if he gets in there, has been hot as well. So had to pick him up in my NL only league. So I've been paying attention to that dude a bunch. But yeah, I mean, there's some nice looking bats, but I think because the pitching looks so good here, for this slate specifically, I'm going to avoid bats in this game.
Yeah, it's tough because I love stacking my Rangers pretty much daily. It feels like nowadays because they're always affordable. Like Garcia is still $3,200 on DK. Like, what world are we in right now?
You just wait for the bomb. Yeah, you just wait for them to hit a homer.
Yeah, I said it in a chat earlier today. I said eventually, because he had a monster Sunday. He had put up 28 DK points on Sunday. I said eventually he's just going to be like $4,500 one day when we log in. It's going to be crazy. But Gallo's heating up, like you said. This offense is good, but go look at Brandon Crawford's like last week or so. You're going to think it's back to like 2011 or something. So it's really crazy the way both these teams are playing. But I'm with you on the gloves, the pitchers. This is what I'm going for in this game. All right, Bogman, that wraps up 6 games. Since we kind of went through it real quick there, you have Gibson as your favorite pitcher tonight?
Yeah, Gibson is my favorite. I guess Gibson, and then Wood is 2, and then I would go with Martin Perez is 3.
Ooh, Martin Perez. Okay. Yeah, it's Gibson and Wood for me. I got Wood over Gibson slightly, but I could see I'm not going to tell you you're
That's
wrong.
a coin
Gibson
flip.
at all. Yeah, I'm not going to argue that one at all. Then I still like Tyler Mahle. I still like Mahle. And I think he might go a little overlooked now looking at this Giants Rangers game. So I think that's kind of an interesting angle. With all these pitchers we like here, where are you stacking it up? Is it just Red Sox and Astros? Maybe go to the desert, assuming Colorado's rained out?
Yeah. I mean, if Colorado plays, I obviously want the Colorado side because Lamet, like we said before, has only gone 2 innings pitched in his 2 starts that he's had this year. But yeah, I mean, it's Boston against Lopez, I think, is my favorite stack today.
Yeah, Boston is a great stack. Love us some Astros too. So with all that being said, Bogman, we have 6 games, 5.5 games to pick from on Monday. And we're going to give our home run calls today. So everybody go check out LineStar on Twitter at LineStar MLB, at LineStar DFS. Retweet the home run calls of the day. You'll get entered to win some. You could potentially get drawn and entered to win some free swag when the balls go deep. So Bogman, who is your home run call on Monday?
I'm going to go with the X-Man. Give me Xander Bogaerts against Jorge Lopez. He's been hot recently. Lopez has not been. So give me X-Man to go deep.
I like that one. It's a very, very strong call there. I'm going to go to the Stros. I'm going to go to Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman versus Suarez and company. Give me some Bregman with you. It's almost like we reversed roles, Bogman. You've been the Bregman guy. I've been the Bogaerts guy.
I've taken Bregman a couple times, and you've taken Bogaerts a couple times.
So here we go. We reversed roles here. Maybe Humphreys will jump on board, or he'll probably take like Longoria or something to ruin our whole
and he'll hit a homer.
Pitching game.
Right.
Yeah. Just to have fun, because Humphreys is a wild card and he's got it nailed. So
I talked to our boy Joe, and he's doing a DFS show too, and they're making home run calls. He's only got 1 so far this year. So so it's been rough for everybody, not just us.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But before we wrap up and head out, again, follow them on Twitter. Go to the iTunes where you listen to us and give it a rate and review. Much appreciate it. And also, if you'd like to watch the podcast, go to the LineStar YouTube page, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff there. But Bogman, that'll wrap us up on a Monday. We'll be back on a Tuesday, everybody. So good luck, and we'll see you then.
Good luck, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to LineStarApp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.